Welcome to Square One Games. My name is Exonovant, and this is my road to completion guide for Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin. In this series, I will show you how to unlock every trophy this game has to offer, and I really hope you enjoy the run. A few quick announcements before we get started. Number 1, check the description and my pinned comment for a full video timeline in case you need to skip around to a specific part of the guide. Number 2, if I have to make a correction, I will leave a note in my pinned comment or insert a new video into the series. Videos that contain corrections will always be labeled with decimal numbers. Number 3, I monitor my comments 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, so if you have any questions about this guide or any other guides on the channel, let me know immediately. I will respond to you as quickly as possible. Number 4, backup saves will be used to maximize efficiency, and I'll demonstrate this process on the PS4. You need to have a good understanding of how to create a backup save before attempting to follow this guide. With that said, you can still get the platinum without creating backup saves, but you'll need to be more cautious to avoid deaths. This will make a lot more sense once I cover this feature later in the episode. Check the description for more information about how to create backup saves on other consoles. Number 5, make sure you are playing Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin because certain items have been relocated in this version of the game, plus enemy placements are different. You can absolutely get the platinum if you're not running Scholar of the First Sin, but you may have to do additional research to find items that are not in the locations I show in this guide. Number 6, the background music has been removed to avoid copyright. I also want to thank all of you supporting me through PayPal and Patreon. Your continued financial support allows me to make quality road to completion guides for trophy and achievement hunters from all around the world. I could not do this without all of you, so thank you. That's all the announcements. Enjoy the guide. Scroll through the terms and conditions and select accept. Go into your console's network settings and disable internet access. Playing offline will ensure we can avoid unnecessary invasions from other human players. It's optional, but I suggest turning your brightness to max for better visibility in dark areas. Also, turn your camera auto adjust off so you have complete control of the camera at all times. Turning the music volume down isn't necessary unless you find the music a bit chaotic during boss fights. When the game begins, use the circle button to sprint to the house up ahead. Notice how the green stamina bar in the upper left corner decreases the longer you hold the button. If the stamina bar reaches 0, you will not be able to complete actions such as sprinting, attacking, rolling, or blocking until your stamina builds up again. Stamina management is the most important aspect of this game, so take the time to master it. Enter the house and name your character. I chose Fill My Clicks because I ran a contest over on Patreon where I let members of my Crazy 88 submit character names. Othman actually won the contest and chose this name. I do appreciate everyone who submitted suggestions. Choose the Warrior as our starting class and the Bonfire Ascetic as our starting gift. After you finalize your character, you will unlock the first trophy of the game. Gender, physique, and other physical attributes have no bearing on any trophies, so feel free to personalize your character however you want. Press start to open the gestures menu and you'll notice that we already have 8 gestures available to us. We will need to collect all the gestures to unlock a trophy later in the guide. Cycle through weapons, shields, and quick items using the D-pad. You'll notice that the top slot is empty because that slot is reserved for spells. We'll talk about that later in the guide. Go outside, light the bonfire, grab the soul and torch behind the cart, then follow me to Majula. Once you reach Majula, light the bonfire and talk to the Emerald Herald. She will give us an Estus Flask which we can use to heal.
Are you, or merely a bearer of the curse? I will remain, but take this with you. Go on and see the king.
Grab the soul and 3 life gems beside the workshop. Then go up the hill to find 5 Homeward Bones. Homeward Bones allow us to travel to the previous bonfire we interacted with. Using Homeward Bones will help us avoid needless backtracking throughout the guide. After grabbing the Homeward Bones, kneel beside the altar and select the following options to unlock a trophy called Covenant of the Fittest. Leave Majula and make your way to Hyde's Tower of Flame. On the way, equip your Estus Flask and pick up the soul in the flooded tunnel. To avoid the enemy up ahead, sprint and get close enough to bait him into an attack. This should buy you just enough time to rest at the bonfire. Resting at a bonfire resets the world state, so any enemies currently chasing you will be placed back at their initial spawn point. Safety saves guarantee that we're always making forward progress through the game. Saving is optional, but I highly encourage it to avoid unnecessary frustration. Here's how to do it on the PS4. Quit the game and click Settings. Scroll down and select Application Saved Data Management. When prompted, choose OK and quit the application. Now select the first option, Save Data in System Storage. Now we get to choose where we want to copy the save file. You have two choices: online storage for PlayStation Plus members or USB storage device. I prefer to use a USB storage device, but either method works. Select the file for Dark Souls 2 and copy it to the backup method of your choice. If you're planning to copy files to online storage, make sure to check your auto upload options to ensure files aren't uploaded without your permission. Now we can start up the game and press continue from the main menu. Once again, check the description to find out how to create a backup save on other consoles. If the information below is inaccurate, let me know so I can correct the links. When you load back into the game, die on purpose to unlock a trophy called This is Dark Souls. Notice the green orb on the ground near where you died. Recovering this orb will give you back any souls you lost prior to dying. Now, we didn't have any souls, but we were human and we had full health. We could use a human effigy from our inventory to reverse the hollowing process and turn human again, or we could just load up our safety save and act like the death never happened. Follow the same steps from before, except this time choose option 2 or 3, online storage or USB storage device. Copy your previous save file back to your system. When you get the prompt to overwrite the current save data, select yes. This will overwrite the save data after we died and revert us back to the moment before we got the trophy. When we load back into the game, we will be human and our maximum health will be 100%. Practice running past the enemies and baiting their attacks to avoid getting hit. Grab the soul and the human effigy, then make your way to the first boss. After the Dragonrider takes 6.5 steps, sprint to the right and bait him into an attack that will cause him to fall off the platform. This may take a few tries, but that's why we created the safety save earlier. Light the bonfire and talk to the NPC until she repeats her dialogue. This action will force her to move back to Majula after resting at the next bonfire, giving us credit toward the Exile trophy.
Are you from these parts? My name is Licia. I have come to... I can see that you are... But the cost of it... I'd heard awful rumors about the king. I fear that... Why did I come here? Do I need any other... My preceptor or... and such... Sometimes I fight. It is... And being out here... I expected this cathedral without any goings to a place I could... Sorry. Help. I expected this could, without any goings on, to a place I could... Sorry. Help. No need.
Run to the next area and grab the soul off the corpse. There is an enemy nearby, so be quick and be careful. When you reach this area, set up a safety save. This will serve as your combat tutorial. We have a very weak weapon and this enemy has a large pool of health, so the goal is to become familiar with the combat without taking much damage. Press the L1 button to raise your shield and tap R3 to lock on to the enemy. Locking on to an enemy allows you to move around without fear of getting backstabbed, plus you can easily block incoming attacks because you're always facing your opponent. Each time you block an attack, the stamina gauge decreases, but you can quickly build it up again by releasing the L1 button. This is especially useful after an enemy hits your shield multiple times. After blocking multiple attacks, it's important to create distance and let your stamina build up to 100%. This will ensure you're not staggered should your opponent attack first, plus you'll have enough stamina left to land a shot of your own. Attacking most enemies from behind with R1 results in a backstab, which is a great way to deal damage. This attack also knocks the enemy to the ground, giving you a chance to build up stamina and heal. Enemies are also vulnerable after this attack, which gives us a chance to land a few cheap shots before transitioning back into defense. Anytime your HP drops to 50% or less, your focus should always be to heal. You can cycle through your recovery items by pressing down on the D-pad, and you can use those items by pressing square. If you need to restore health fast, use an Estus Flask. Life gems are good to use as a last resort, but they are especially useful while exploring. Keep in mind that life gems are not replenished at bonfires, but Estus Flask are. Our current shield does not have the appropriate stats to protect us from physical damage, so each time we block we lose a small percentage of health. We will eventually get a shield that absorbs 100% physical damage, but for now you'll need to monitor your health even though you're blocking. Practice fighting this enemy in order to get very familiar with combat. Load up your safety save as many times as you need to until you perfect the balance between defense and offense. Once you feel comfortable with the combat, grab the Sublime Bone Dust from the chest, rest at the next bonfire, and fast travel back to Majula. Grab the life gem under the tent, then buy 4 alluring skulls from the cat inside the house.
Oh, and one without just about not exact. Well, oh yes. So, ooh. Satisfied?
Hit the rock sitting on the well for an easy Estus Flask shard. We will use these later to increase the number of Estus Flask we have. Go inside the small house and grab the Titanite Shard from the wooden chest, then follow me to the next area. Grab the Homeward Bone and Soul and set up a safety save. You have 2 options for getting through this area. Number 1, throw 4 alluring skulls in key areas to draw the enemy's attention, giving you just enough time to reach the next bonfire. Number 2, clear the enemies using the circle strategy we practiced earlier. Most of the enemies are lying on the ground, so you can attack them while they're getting up. Both methods work, so choose the one you're most comfortable with and follow me to the next bonfire. Buy the following items from the merchant: 2 firebombs, 90 throwing knives, and the Lenigrast key. Talk to the merchant to receive the Covetous Silver Serpent Ring +1.
Take these if you...
then exhaust her dialogue and she'll eventually move to Majula.
My name is Melentia. You're a stranger to this land. Or we get as strangers. Dranglake's been up in the jungles. Seemed like the battles with poor folk like myself. That's why I keep all you in trouble. They say these trees grow from each carcass, but you know what they also say? It's high time that I pick up a bargain for you next time. It's high time that I pick up a bargain for you. Lonely time.
Equip throwing knives, firebombs, and the covetous silver serpent ring +1. Straddle the line created between the second and third tiles and press your body against the wall. Rotate the camera so it's facing down and throw a firebomb to destroy the barrels on the other side. Rest at the bonfire to regain your health and press down on the D-pad to select throwing knives. Use throwing knives to defeat the enemies outside. Climb the ladder and grab the Estus Flask shard off the corpse, but do it quickly so we can skip the enemy flying into the area. Remove equipment and make sure you're at full health before attempting to roll off the ledge. Fall damage is based off weight, so we need to be as light as possible to survive the fall. Watch out for the boulder and talk to the NPC digging in the tunnel to get the house key.
Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Cale. I'm navigating the... Why cartography? Well, when I first came, it was... But I do know... I came to this land... Dranglake's. Have you seen Majula? I've made... Inside the mansion, I believe Now I'm Yes. Yeah, wait. Then what? Were you looking for that wonderful? Shame on you. Here, take this. What a joy.
Keep talking to him until he repeats dialogue, and he'll eventually move back to Majula, giving us credit toward the Exile trophy.
I can't be certain. Something about it feels wrong. I'll be back in Majula. Perhaps we will meet again. I'll be back in Majula soon. Perhaps we will meet again.
Once he repeats dialogue, use a Homeward Bone to return to the previous bonfire. Rest at the bonfire and equip all the gear we removed earlier. Use the throwing knives to proceed through the area so we can get another Lifegem and Homeward Bone. Wait at the top of the steps, because in most cases an enemy will flash around the corner and you can easily kill him with throwing knives. Take out both guards and open the gate leading back to the previous bonfire. Before traveling back to Majula, kill the enemies in the area and grab the soul off the corpse in the corner. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. My name is Exile, and I'll see you in the next one. Be good.